All right, everybody, let us begin the stream. Can you guys hear me all right? Let me know in the comments. Looks like we got a lot of people hanging out. And hopefully you can hear that nice fluffy music. All right, sweet. Yeah, right now I'm also suffering from a cough and a cold, and it seems to have not gone away for 2 months. But okay, you know, whatever. But yeah, what's up, everybody? Tonight is going to be a fun stream, kind of just no real goals other than talking to all of you. And that's all I want to do. Talk about Star Wars. Maybe do a Mad Lib, because my wife is a genius and got me some Star Wars Mad Libs, which could prove hilarious, because one of them has a Palpatine thing, which is, yeah, it has a whole one about Sidious in here, so I feel like we just have to do it because of the name of the stream. So hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Ryan? What's up, Dale? What's up? Am I going to say this right? Cayenne? Tyler? Stewart? What's going on? How's everybody doing in internet land? Is everybody surviving the new online complaining? It's just, like the movie or not, it's just like insanity. I hope you guys all got to check out the Mandalorian's video I put up today. I cannot say more awesome things about the Mandalorian. That show is, I basically want to binge watch it again. It's just so good. It's you know, it's a simple story, but in the wake of how I feel after sort of the messiness of the Rise of Skywalker, which I've been mentioning and sort of been wrapping my head around still as a fan. It's just nice to have that to think about, and also Jedi Fallen Order and just other things. But yeah, it's been pretty nuts online. So yeah, wow, we got 50 people hanging out. Welcome, everybody. So basically, like, you know, I've been watching a lot of people's reviews and reactions to this movie, and this is the first time I feel like I can say that that I have seen a split like this since the prequels. I don't think The Last Jedi was as controversial as this film. At least in my opinion. Maybe I just wasn't as honed in on Twitter at that point. But, oh, Dale. Yeah, I've only been doing streams maybe once every 2 weeks right now. It's pretty tough with the 2 kids and then my regular job. I mean, as you guys all know, the goal with the channel, it's been growing like nuts. So thank you all for watching my content. It's so funny. I think it's been a year and a half now, and I'm at 15,000 subs, which is bananas. So, you know, it's just really funny to me, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, Stuart, the kids are good. Thomas is obsessed with the band Real Big Fish, and he's not even 2, which is hilarious. Quinn's doing really good, little Quinny. Every time she sees me, she smiles and giggles, which I think is really funny. Hopefully it's not because I look silly, but that's also okay. But yeah, life is good. So thanks for asking, man. But yeah, bananas. Bananas are good. They're good for your body. So what I keep going back to, I watched Hello Greedo's video today about the genericness of the Rise of Skywalker. And I think, you know, he definitely dislikes the movie more than I do, but it was just, you know, it's been fun absorbing other people's opinions. So I like that video, just kind of processing more of how I think of it through somebody else's opinion that I respect. Even watching Star Wars Explained and Eckhart talk about it, it's just kind of like a lot of people just have come to the same conclusion that what we're hoping for out of this sort of untidy end is that the next one really is thoughtful and thought out. And it's wild that I think a TV show stands in stark contrast to a trilogy now in terms of a functional story. But you know, whatever. At the other point of this too, I also really do think the Rise of Skywalker is really fun. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna cough for a second. It doesn't stop, the coughing. But yeah, all right, Scott on the dot. Yeah, Star Wars fans. It's so this is one thing I wanted to talk about because I've been really annoyed by how negative people have been, or nasty people have been about the movie itself. Because I don't care if I don't like the movie as much as other people. Who cares what I think? It's just me. You know, you guys come here to hear my opinions on films, and you might agree, you might disagree. It's just that I think you think, you know, I'm being honest and you trust me, and that's that. But what I don't like is people like tweeting at JJ saying that like they ruined a thing. I mean, like I said, it's a miracle that any of these movies happened. No, I don't think we'll get an extended version of The Rise of Skywalker because I don't think that conspiracy is true about there being like this extra special cut. I mean, the people that have been working on visual effects have even come out and said like, nah, there was no time to even have all these speculative things to do. Like it just was, The Rise of Skywalker is what it was. But there was more fat to the scenes that were in the movie, if that's what you're asking. It's just like how The Last Jedi's first, I think, cut was 4 hours. And then they whittled that down to like 3:30. I remember like there was always like media outlets pumping this stuff out, and then all of a sudden it's 2 hours and 33 minutes. Yeah, I'm with you on the Cliffs. In my heart of hearts, Ben Solo should have lived. To me, that makes more sense. Or it would have made more sense. Not in like let's just rip off Vader being a lot like the Vader dream, like go beyond Vader becoming a Force ghost, right? Just make him live and have to not pay for his crimes. He clearly can't be around the Resistance, and they're not going to be like friendly towards Kylo Ren because they don't know what Ben Solo is. They're not just going to take him in. So like, I think it would have been nice for him to like stay alive, but there be a vague journey that we just don't know what he's up to after this movie. But then on the other side of this, I also think if you guys follow me on Twitter at chat on Twitter, I also said that there was a possible more connective way to wrap up the ending of this film with Ben Solo and Rey in the whole Jedi meditation from the beginning. And I just feel like Rey meditating at the end back on Ajan Kloss, which was, you know, this brand new place, this brand new training ground that Luke and Leia trained on that nobody ever even knew about, even in the Aftermath trilogies. Like, imagine the authors of those books being like, oh, that really happened? Interesting. Because now that's like just new canon. But yeah, so like, it would have been more impactful to me had the story been written in such a way that it ended on that planet with Rey meditating. And if Ben did have to die or become whatever Force ghost-ish entity he is right now, because who knows, he died in a place that's like very questionable about where he ended up. I'm just not sure. The novel will let us know. But it would have been awesome to me for Ben Solo's voice to respond back. That would have been a very good finale to the trilogy of this one, while also still paying off that idea that Ben Solo did what his grandfather couldn't, at least in the eyes of saving somebody he loved. Like, he didn't go to conquer the galaxy, but whatever. It's not what the whole thing's about. Yeah, Four-Leaf Clover. Ben's destiny is ambiguous, which is good. They might be able to play around with the character again somehow. You never know. Yeah, the world between worlds, and just the fact Palpatine came back, right, makes anything possible. Yeah, I can't wait for that to be released either, Stu. It's weird that they pushed it back, and I don't know if there's a good reason for it. I do know, like, The Last Jedi's book was delayed, I think, for a while, like the extended edition, but I don't know. So, here's my question for a lot of people. Does Rey being a Palpatine, like, I guess I can't do like a show of hands, but is the Rey Palpatine thing working for you guys? In a way, I actually do think, if I look at the big picture, and depending on how the novel goes, I can see it like really like making sense. The thing I wish is that was like peppered in, if that was gonna be what that was gonna be. And if they were gonna pepper that in, at least give a reason for the existence of Palpatine. But I don't know. It's just funny because, like, it's like peak Palpatine, but there for a weird reason. Yeah, and exactly, Stuart. Like, I don't, like, it's, there's just so many questions raised in whose Rey's parents are now. It's just so weird. It would have been interesting, I guess, if, like, I might have said this in a previous stream. I would have been okay with the entire Palpatine maybe aspect of it if, like, he was just like, maybe he was the leader of this cult, but he no longer exists except through, like, these people worshiping him, and, like, and just leave Palpatine out of it, and, like, Rey's just the heir to the Sith because of what she is, something beyond a connection to, like, some dude. Because that, you know, like, I will be honest, that line when he's like, you don't just have power, you have his power, I just felt like a bunch of people must have cringed right there for a second, because it's kind of goofy. That's the part that I kind of cringed at, even on my third viewing. But I don't know. Yeah, I liked the Rey Nobody. I'm so curious. I wish I could just talk to Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley and just be like, no bullshit. Just like, what do you think of this story? Because, you know, I feel like Adam Driver might really just like his entire story in this, because he did as good as he was given, right? I think his best performances were in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, of course. But from Daisy's perspective, I'm just so curious what she thinks. So we all know what freaking John Boyega thinks. Dude doesn't stop tweeting. I mean, obviously he's entitled to tweet what he tweets, but sometimes you gotta stop. Thomas Johnson, that's so funny that you said that. All right, so Thomas Johnson has said this movie is like a Michael Bay movie. My first thought on my first viewing of seeing The Rise of Skywalker, and this is because of the pacing, and kind of because of some of the camera work too. And it reminded me of Transformers: The Last Night, like that film, where it felt like they had 50 cameras going at once, and they just kept cutting to whichever one like kept moving at the best time to keep things going. And that was like the kind of jarringness nature of this movie to me as like an editor. It just felt so fast. So it took me a while to like kind of like be like, oh yeah, it's like that movie. So it's funny that you put that out. And the other thing, what's up, Tara Stone? Welcome, the ultimate trailer maker, in the house. Welcome to the AT AT Chat. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. with these new movies, these new supposed High Republic, that and also that just sounds so silly to me, like the High Republic. I really hope that's like just not what it is. Like, I hope that that era is what it is, because it sounds really cool, but it being called the High Republic is just kind of funny to me. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine, but I just want these new films to not worry about like if it hits like the Force theme 1,000 times to make us know that it's like what's the word, you know, that this is Star Wars, there's the same exact theme you've heard, so now you know. Like, I really hope that they are daring enough to just get weird and just have somebody's vision seen through start to finish. So yeah, exactly, Trippin' Ninja. That's what I do. That's what I did before this. It's also probably why I'm coughing. And the reason is, oh, sorry, I thought that my stream was crashing. It's not crashing. The reason is if they're gonna try this MCU thing, then yeah, make it all revolve around sort of a period of time and tell different stories so that eventually they all kind of connect to one big thing. It doesn't have to be all these trilogies, but as long as there's somebody helming it, and I don't want to be like, have it be Kevin Feige. I actually don't think that every MCU film is like really that great. I think there's like 5 good MCU films out of the 22. That might be a big, wait, is that Cart Slatter in here? Wait a second. Oh, dude. All right. I need to answer his question, because not only is he Canadian, but he loves Labatt Blue, so he gets his questions answered first. So, I feel like Luke Skywalker was a straight up hobo. Avengers 1. Yeah. So Eck, he was a straight up hobo. And when I was in the theater and Rey's like, I'm doing what you did, and then he goes, it's because you're a Palpatine. I literally just like, oh my god. So yeah, rough sequence of events, which is funny because I have a script coming out on that. And who would have thought that Luke Skywalker could look like a hobo to that degree in death, but he never looked like a hobo to that degree while sucking a thalassiren's teat. I don't get it. It's an achievement unlike any other. And the blue that they pulled for his Force Ghost is what somebody would call Lysol blue. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Miss K? Welcome to the AT Chats live stream of impromptuness. Elliot, I'd actually say neither, because so here's what's so freaking weird about the Rise of Skywalker. While I accept it's just completely ridiculous, it does have some parts in it that I like. So, I mean, I can't lie. Wait, there are some pics from the TFA book that make him look real greasy. My favorite pics in the TFA art book are of Man Bun Luke. I would have killed to see Man Bun Luke with a lightsaber doing some shit. That would have been pretty neat. Eck, I need to watch your video on the Battle of Exegol, because I think I've watched the Rise of Skywalker now, like my little crappy cam version, which I just said out loud. Yes, I have that. I've watched that battle so many times, and it's just so hard to follow. And I'm like, what the? I feel like I need to watch a History Channel breakdown of the Battle of Exegol with like a British narration, and I need like some scotch and a fire going just so I can really take it in. I don't know. Game of Thrones, yeah. You know, I never really thought Game of Thrones season 8 was terrible. I just thought it should have been 2 seasons. So I don't think the pacing issues were the same kind of pacing issues in Game of Thrones as the pacing issues, which were editorial issues in The Rise of Skywalker, if that makes sense. Tara Stone knows what I'm saying. Yeah, if it like as yeah. And that's what's so crazy, you know. For people that liked A New Hope 2, The Force Awakens. No, I'm just kidding. I actually really love The Force Awakens. I'm not dogging on that. Like I literally thought, I left that film thinking like that was brilliant, like perfect, 10 out of 10. The best way to revive Star Wars out of its like nowhere zone. Like pretty much perfect, right? Like the first thing you hear of Kylo Ren is, "Look how old you become," to an old man. And it's the coolest thing you've heard since "You Are Not a Jedi Yet." Like, at least in my head, right? Like JJ nailed it. So, just what happened? And I loved his attitude towards The Rise of Skywalker, saying, fuck it. I'll just be creative and wacky and do things that I want to do. But it feels like, it actually feels like the most self-conscious film he's ever made. So that's why I'm so confused by his nonchalant attitude about the movie. I don't know. And again, this is me. I'm older and I'm nitpicky. I've seen so many freaking movies that, like, I think I nitpick a lot of stuff, so I get it. Yeah, I'm with you, Mariah. TFA and TLJ to me feel like they work perfectly together. And I know, like, a lot of my friends in the Star Wars fandom, some of my favorite YouTubers and friends, like Eckhart, like, I don't, like, you know, they're not really into that film. They don't like it in the same way, like, some other people, like, really love it, you know? Maybe they appreciate some of the ships or some of the other thread-through lines, but overall, just the biggest bummer about this trilogy to me, and it's so weird saying this as like a positive Star Wars YouTube channel in my head. That's what I am. The bummer about this whole thing to me is I can't look back on it yet without reading the book and feel like it told a story that made sense yet. I can say that about the prequels. The prequels made sense. It might not have been executed well, but the prequels made sense. Like really, really good sense to me. And I've also read all the novelizations too, and I've also grown up with them, so I don't know if that's also like bias. And, you know, I will say to a certain degree, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi are very similar to how The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker is, but there still seems to be a solid thread through with those films. So, and I really don't want to dog on anybody that like loves The Rise of Skywalker, because it's fine. So it's only my opinion. I definitely don't think it's like garbage like a lot of people are saying. It's just too fast. And I'm not gonna lie, like I would love a reboot of the prequels, which sounds maybe blasphemous, but if like for some reason like Disney was like, fuck it, we got nothing, we got nothing, right? And they just remade the Phantom Menace, the Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, which would be ridiculous, but like just with today's technology and like just getting today's kind of acting and that kind of stuff would be really interesting. The funniest, weirdest reboot idea of all time. Yeah, I'm with you. They definitely should have waited, I think, to release this film. Oh, thanks so much, Rydog. Yeah, the next duel is going to be on Ahsoka, which I always spelled the name Ahsoka wrong, because I have a sister named Ashley. So I always spell, if I'm typing, I'm always spelling Ash. But yeah, that's going to be coming out, because what I like about these duels, if you guys are following my duel series, like some of them are longer than others because it depends on how much information I can gather and think about. But what I really like about this duel series is the psychology behind the reason the two people are fighting, more than the fight itself. It's cool to talk about forms, but I like why people fight. Like, what's going on inside their brains. Oh, okay, so let me go back up to that question, Westminster. Yeah. I while I wanted Ben Solo to live, I think everything from when he gets to Exegol to him resurrecting Rey is perfect. That he did. Everything. Except for him just not being with us at the end. Like, I really can't believe... I don't know if it's Adam Driver or the direction of JJ. Like, I don't know who is in charge, really, of making him work as well as he did as Ben Solo. But it was such a believable instant transformation. And... like, arguably, I'd say Ben Solo saves the whole film. And leading up to that kiss, with all the what has happened to Ben, to who Ben Solo is, and leading up to the kiss, I think it's perfect. Some people think it was unjustified and unearned, but remember, he just lost his mom, who sacrificed her life in order to push him towards the light, and if you think about it, she's using her life force to keep him alive. It wasn't conveyed well in the editing of this, but this is what Chris Terrio has said now at this point. Like Leia's doing two things at once, kind of like helping eradicate and bring back out the goodness in her son, and also keeping him alive so that way Rey can heal him. Therefore, also pushing him further to the good and right decision of following in the footsteps. And the last big thing she's doing is she literally is actually creating the apparition of Han Solo with a bit of her own force energy that she has left and a bit of Ben Solo's memory. That is valid now. That is real. That's a fact. And I love that. I wish somehow the editing made that idea come back or conveyed it better. But I loved his redemption to the end. And him finally kissing somebody and just having a moment of happiness before he died after all this bullshit that he went through. I mean, because if you're reading The Rise of Kylo Ren, it's just going to make you more mad. Because he didn't do anything. I mean, he's an arrogant son of a bitch. For sure. He's super arrogant. He thinks he's better than every Jedi at the temple. I mean, he's very much like Anakin Skywalker in that regard. But he didn't murder all the people. So it's just crazy. And also, I love the music once his hand hits in that Sith Coliseum, I guess. It sounds like Superman, kinda. Yeah, Ryan. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first looked at a picture of a unmasked Kylo Ren from like the 2014 promo pics for The Force Awakens, when I saw like that it was Adam Driver, but like how he looked, I was like, this is my favorite character. I already knew, and it came true. Like the whole thing was just so great. And honestly, what would have been better, and I love Rey. I think Rey's great. I think it would have been better just to make this a darker trilogy all about Kylo Ren, specifically. Yeah, good question, Rackham. I mean, he's done good writing before. He's penned award-winning scripts. I think the real problem here, the real limitations that I think caused this fiasco was the unfortunate death of Carrie Fisher. I think pragmatically, like, it would have been like the best idea just to recast. Or if you went through the trouble of bringing back Tarkin, I get the philosophical and ethical issues of reviving the dead. But if they wanted to tell this story, they should have somehow, or committed to the footage that was in there to show us, even if it wasn't perfect. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, like, it seems like in the lore department, in terms of like EU stuff, it seems like they really went hard on that stuff. Yeah, so Rackham Day. If that's true, like I would have preferred them just do a little more with Leia and just create a thing if they had to, just to create more context for what was going on. I think that was one of the big things where they had a hand tied behind their back. The whole loss of 3 months of production time. The idea that they had to start over from scratch. I mean, it's pretty insane. And that's why I said, even though like I'm lukewarm on this movie, it's a miracle that it came out. I think. I actually think, from a certain point of view, the Rise of Skywalker is a miracle. Because I mean, all 3 of the OT people are in it, and Carrie Fisher died. I mean, it's just crazy that they got it to work the way that they did. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Stuart, the way I'd put it is, a lot of us probably play, we would probably play Jedi Fallen Order or Knights of the Old Republic, or whatever. We've played video games, and sometimes I feel like, due to the limitations of Leia not being able to move in her limit of lines, she almost came off like a video game character, where like she reacted to you like hitting square, So that was like the only thing kind of stood out to me. Yeah, the dyad aspect is one of the coolest thing. I think the dyad aspect stuff was really cool. Oh yeah, I'm with you, Tara. I mean, I believe Jason Ward. I mean, Jason Ward. I don't remember if he got like the TLJ stuff correct or not. Like, I don't think a lot of it was right, but TFA was everything except for what was inside of BB-8's body. I mean, everything was right, and it wasn't him that leaked everything about the Rise of Skywalker, but the Rise of Skywalker officially leaked 6 months ago somehow, and like everything that went out was real, and that's nuts. So it's pretty wild. And yeah, so the dyad stuff. I do hope the dyad stuff comes back. I think that aspect of the Force is awesome. Not the Force being specifically from some guy's nutsack. I don't know if that's cool. Like, again, you don't have his power. You have ball power. I'm Chris Terrio. I don't get it. It's just silly. Yeah. I mean, imagine that cut. I mean, somebody's gonna make that. Oh, interesting. I didn't think about JJ setting up the dyad in TFA. I definitely thought the Bond thing was definitely set up in TFA. Like, without a doubt, where Rian Johnson went with the intimacy and bond between Kylo Ren and Rey, I think it's exactly where JJ would have went to. I don't know how JJ would have done it. I do think the way that he used Rian Johnson's idea of intercutting between locations, it was good at some points, but also looked a little cheap sometimes. Terrastone, you might actually know what I mean by this, maybe just because you're a visually minded kind of person, with it being an editor. But like, sometimes it like looked like TV, or like I don't know. It's hard to explain. Yeah, well, so Island Dolphin, and sorry I'm not getting to everybody's questions here. It's tough. And again, thanks everybody. We got 110 people hanging out. Thanks so much for supporting. Oh yeah, Stuart, I definitely have one of those like on deck. I just like need to get time to do all the voices. I want to do a hot tub. So for all of the 110 people in here watching, I also make parody videos sometimes. That was the foundation of this channel originally. And the next one's going to be Rian Johnson, Bob Iger, George Lucas and J.J. Abrams in a hot tub talking about what the hell happened. And I think it's going to be really funny. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I have a lot of ideas for it. So, oh yeah, Force goes blue. Like, dude, it was Lysol. They literally dipped him in a toilet of Lysol, the blue stuff. They were like, yeah, that's it. That's perfect. All right, put him at 50% opacity. That's what they did. I don't know. I think it's funny. Yeah, weird in a good way is the right way to put my content. Or good in a weird way, or bad in a good way, or weird in a bad way. All the above. Oh yeah, should we do this? Ryan brought this back up. Do you guys want to do a Mad Lib as a community? Should we do it? It's The Power of the Dark Side by Emperor Palpatine. Oh yeah, all right. Well, we got 4 yeses. Shadow Shade. All right. All right, guys, I need a noun. Give me a noun. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to pick one at random as you guys put this into the chat. I'm ready for a noun. Okay. All right, we're moving on. So now I need an adjective. Adjective, folks. Adjective. Okay. Keep going. Let's see. Let's keep going. All right. I need another noun. And we got like 10 more. Another noun, folks. This is hilarious. This is either going to be the best thing to read or the worst. Oh man, I wish I put thick. All right, we need some nouns. Oh, okay. All right, now we need a plural noun. Oh, Stuart, we're doing Mad Libs, Star Wars Mad Libs for a second. Palpatine edition. So we need a plural noun. Okay. All right. And I'll read back all the ones I picked afterwards. And then I'll read this. So now I need a verb ending in ing. Verb ending in ing. I feel like the guy that runs Jeopardy. Oh my god. Ooh. Oh, I like that one. All right. I don't know what it means, but I'm putting it in, and it sounds like something that it probably is what my dirty ass mind thinks it is. Okay. I also need an adjective. A new adjective. Adjective. Here, I'll talk to you guys like, I don't know, people from the 80s. Adjective. Let's see. Keep going, keep going. Adjective. I like that one. Okay. We need an adverb now. Can you guys give me an adverb? A verb that adds? Also, I love this song. To the 93 people hanging out, playing Mad Libs with me online. Thank you. Another adjective. Okay. And another adjective. All right, let me just do it from this whole. Oh, no, not yet psychotic. I should add that to my playlist. All right. I don't know what that means, but I'm putting it in. Now I need another plural noun. Plural noun, folks. Can I have a plural noun for 9,000? Plural nouns. Okay. Now I need a regular ass noun. A noun. Singular. Singular noun. Snokes. I should have used that one. Singular noun. All right. Now I need a last name of a person in the room, which is myself, which I won't do. So just, how about we do the last name? What? I don't know. Just throw out a last name. See, okay. Yes. Terrastone. You know what's up. All right, and I need one more noun and one more verb. So a noun. Then I can read this to you with my kind of sore throat. Trump. So a noun. Give me a noun. I could do a good Gary Busey. Give me a noun. All right. Okay. And now a verb. I need this is the final verb of this whole thing. It's got to be poignant. Tumbleweed. A verb. The most ridiculous verb you can think of. Keep going, we need better verbs. Alright. Terrastone wins. Let me read back all the words I've chosen, folks. So we have dog, smelly, cheese, Wookiees, snogging, soft, rashly, squishy, reddening, babies, sheev, Cena, tree, and eat. All right, let's see if I can actually read this. I'm probably gonna like stop a billion times. As Dog Sidious, Sith Lord and smelly leader of the Galactic Empire, I know firsthand how powerful the dark side of the Force is. If you become a Sith, a Chi, the Force, the Sith can use the dark side to stop the Wookiees that he or she loves from snogging. The Jedi would never try such a soft thing. Oh my god. It's obvious to anyone who has studied the dark side that it is more powerful than the Jedi could rashly imagine. The Jedi might tell you that the dark side is quicker, easier, and more squishy. I admit, that may be true. But those who join the dark side will know reddening power beyond their wildest babies. Like me and my sheev, Darth Cena, those who practice the dark side of the Force are destined to rule the tree. Join us or eat. That was awesome. I have like 95 of these in here. We'll probably just do this for the next year until we finish the whole thing. Join us or eat. That's like gonna be like my sign off. Well, thanks everybody. That was hilarious. So Wallace is a Sith. Imagine Darth Cena. Hey guys, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna go get a little bit more water. Oh, I'm gonna go get a little bit more water. And I'm back. Alright. Yeah, I could see John Cena as a Sith. Eat us or die. Join us or eat. It's just amazing. Oh, no worries, Psychotic. I'm probably going to be signing off in like 5-10 minutes anyways. But thanks so much for sticking around, man. It's been nice chatting with you. Man, my voice. Why am I I actually might have to start wrapping up, guys, just because my voice is starting to get super sore. Just like, man, this cold just will not go away. Let's think about this. Any final thoughts on Star Wars? Well, like I said, I really hope that, you know, all these new seasons of like Star Wars TV with The Mandalorian Season 2, Kenobi, Cassian, you know, with Deborah Chow in charge of Kenobi, I feel complete confidence now. I also think that like now that they've seen what it's like to be in charge of Star Wars and how people can be really intense, that maybe they'll just like get away from being so transparent with the public with everything that's going on behind the curtain, because I also think we're a little bit too in the know of what is always going on behind the hood, because they, you know, everybody is so obsessed with Star Wars in the fandom. They always want to know. So like, I think they should keep that stuff locked away somehow. I almost like don't even want trailers ever again. I just want to like go to a movie and like be like, oh my god, it's the new Star Wars, and see what happens. You know, I wonder if RJ's trilogy is going to happen. And the only reason I wonder about that now is because, like, he probably would have done it no matter what, but he's been so successful with his other film that's going to be turning into probably a franchise. So I don't know. I hope that he still helms a Star Wars movie at least, if not a trilogy, because I straight up think he was. Stuart, I've not been able to see it yet. It's one film I am dying to see that I've not been able to see. But it looks like right up my alley. I like espionage and I like whodunit kind of films. But yeah, he was the only one in like The Last Jedi just looks like a masterpiece to me compared to this last experience. And that's not to say it isn't or is or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It's a really good movie that's well put together in my opinion. And the Rise of Skywalker just really makes me really aware of how much Rian Johnson cared. Even if he did things that people hated and think that he's an asshole for, I think it's complete BS. Anybody saying that he doesn't care about what he did, and like he hates Star Wars and that's why he did what he did, like, they don't know what they're talking about. And I guarantee what they're saying is monetarily driven. Because you cannot look at that guy and just say he's objectively not a fan. The dude was a freaking wild goose running around on set while he was making his own movie. So, I don't know. I think people just get jealous of people and whatever. And again, it just stands out. TLJ literally could be the final. You really could. I don't know if you guys follow a channel called Just Right. I believe that's the name of the channel. Really good channel. Really great stuff about writing and movies and shows and stuff and what's good and what's not good. Obviously, it's opinion and whatever. But he made a good point that you could look at The Last Jedi as the end of the sequel trilogy now, technically, with the way it ends. Because it really does close it all out if you want. And you can just let your headcanon imagination imagine what happened after that point if you wanted to. And I bet a lot of people are doing that. I'm not. I mean, I'm accepting the film that we got because I loved Ben Solo. Thought that was great. But yeah, I don't know. I just want the next stuff to be just as good as the first two of this trilogy, and I want the last film to make as much sense as the first two. So that's what I hope for. Oh, Caleb Kemp with a super chat late in the stream. Thanks so much. You missed a lot, but let me read this out loud real quick. Apologies if I missed it, but what did you make of the rumor of the next trilogy being 400 years before TPM? I'd say that sounds, coming from Jason Ward, I believe that it's highly probable. I think it's definitely highly probable. I think maybe the reason they might be going there is because they might be able to anchor it a little bit with Yoda. And I hope that is not the reasoning. Because I'd be a little bit bummed out if another series of films tried to... what's the word? I think it'd be strange if they just tried to do what they did with Luke Skywalker, but with Yoda in a different series of films to, like, make us want to get curious about it. I just want to see new shit. That's about it. Like, if Yoda's going to be in it, have him be in it, because I heard about that. But, like, don't be like, we're going to learn some shit about Yoda. Like, I learned everything I want to know. I want new now. Baby Yoda is the exception. So, and as long as somehow Sheev Palpatine isn't there 400 years ago being like, long have I waited. Wait, it's 400 years ago. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm good. So, it would be interesting seeing the dark side and light conflict back then. But yeah, I really just want to see a very unique take on Star Wars. It like a real new unique take. No, like, new buildings, new ships, new shit. Lightsabers can still look the same. Lightsabers are lightsabers. Yoda will still be green and tiny and tried. That's all I want. So, all right. So that's all I gotta say. It's been fun hanging out with everybody. Stuart, awesome seeing you in the chat. Have a good night, you guys, and seeing you guys probably within a week or two. Hopefully not that long. I do have a couple of videos coming out soon. This week's a little hectic because of my full-time job. Working on a lot of stuff at work. So the next video is going to be about Luke's final lesson to Rey, because I do think that there's some good in that scene with Luke messy hair. Oh, Caleb Kemps, thanks so much for another super chat. Oh, don't worry about it, man, but I really appreciate the support. Thanks so much. But yeah, so a lot of videos, Ahsoka versus Vader, and then I want to make a video about Fallen Order and how I think it could have been a movie, like, because I think the story's that good, and just a couple other things. So be on the lookout. We'll be making some stuff, and that's it. May the Force be with you, and AT AT Chat is signing off.